What's up everyone, it's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and you know when you see the blue wall, and that, I can't even call it shaky cam anymore actually because I have the tripod, but you know when you see all this good stuff, it's unboxing time. So what are we unboxing this time? Well, it's the first full-on proper, actually you know it wouldn't be the first full-on proper collector's edition because Fire Emblem Warriors had one too. So it's one of, there we go, one of will be better. The big full-on proper collector's editions of Switch games. In this case, it's Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now, this is obviously the European version, which does differ ever so slightly from the American version, but we'll get into that now in a minute anyway. We'll see what the whole deal is. So, first off, still completely fully sealed. This is actually huge in comparison to a Switch box. I was expecting it to be maybe, I won't say half the size, but just very, like let's say a Switch box is this high. I was expecting it to be like here, and maybe 2 or 3 times the thickness of a Switch box, maybe a tiny bit wider, but this is huge by comparison, something I did not expect whatsoever. So, let's take a quick look. First off, it's gorgeous, we know that. Nothing on the left, nothing on the right. So, let's take a quick look at the back here. The collector's edition, or edition collector, okay, fair enough. Oh, granted it's a different language, but whatever. So it includes the game card, naturally, of course, it's going to include the game. And one of the cool things is this is, as far as I know, the first Nintendo Switch game to actually come with a steel bookcase for the game as well, which is epic because I kind of like the Switch boxes. I like the PSP versions ever so much more, just very slightly more. But they're basically the same thing. The Switch ones are just very little bit thinner. Comes with a soundtrack selection CD. It's not the entire thing, and it comes with an art book. So, let's get into opening this bad boy. Luckily, I've got my trusty Letterman. Never fails. I just have to be very careful. I don't want to mark the actual inside of the box or anything. Well, inside the packaging, you know, the outside of the box. I'm a collector, I like to keep this stuff. To quote my boy Vinny Gognitti, what? Nothing nerdy about it, I'm a collector. You know how much this stuff is worth? Fucking much. See if anyone gets that reference. Okay, so, let's see how we open this one first. So that comes off the back, which is completely gold, ever so slightly different artwork. Must be 2 different variants on the sword. Now let's just get this out of the way. Of course I will be keeping that. So this does slide off. So this packaging is pretty nice. Yeah, you've got a good view of it there. It's nice and metallic. It's kind of Zelda-esque if you ask me. I mean, we've got some sort of emblem slash almost like ram face in the background. We do have a sword. We've got all sorts of other stuff that we don't know anything about just yet. And on the back, it's pretty much more of the same. Slightly different, but the same style. So real quick, if you're not familiar with what Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is, it's the first proper sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii. Now, Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii was a fantastic game. It did have kind of a spiritual successor on the Wii U, which 1, wasn't a very good game, and 2, no one bought because it was a Wii U game. Badum tish. Now, how do we open this? Oh, it slides off this way, okay. So let's go. Oh, it doesn't intend it to actually come off. That's kind of cool. When we look at the whole thing there, I'm going to keep my thumb at the top just so the book doesn't fall out forward. But that's actually pretty cool. So let's get this out without ripping everything. Okay, it's a, oh, what have we got at the bottom here? Seems like it would be something in the actual in-game language. Let's turn it upside down and see if we can... Oh no, it's not. It's the sword. So on this side, it looks all weird and stuff. But on this side, it's the sword. That's really cool. I really like when they do extra little small things like that. I was expecting this to be a big hardcover art book. Obviously not even as big as this, or not even as thick as this. But now, I'm purposely doing this off camera, by the way, so don't worry about that. I'm not doing a terrible, well, I am doing a terrible unboxing, but it's just so there's no accidental spoilers or anything like that, any artwork that you wouldn't want to see when I was just quickly flipping through it. So, we've got a nice thick art book. Again, same deal. I'm not going to go in and show the insides of it. We don't want to accidentally spoil anything. We don't want to give away secret areas or last bosses or whatever it is. Now, we've got a little sheet that just comes off. So we'll flip this back up again. You can see we've got the game itself and the steelbook. Purposely leaving the steelbook till last. We also have our collector's edition. So it is the Sound Selection CD. It's got 13 tracks on the back. Let me get it at a good angle. Hopefully that is much better. So I'm curious to see what this is actually going to have on it. I know they've released, I'm not sure if it was all of this or just a sampling of this particular CD on the internet over the last couple of weeks. It might have been the last couple of days. And I purposely avoided it because I want to kind of, not so much experience it myself, but I want to have the visual reference of whatever area or fight or whatever is going on at the same time as the actual music kicks in. So, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, standard Switch game as you'd expect. We have all the usual good stuff on the back. Journey to the birthplace of humanity, Elysium. So I'm very curious to see. There's probably nothing extra in there. These games don't even come with, what do we call them? They have the game card. They don't even come with manuals for the most part anymore, which is kind of disappointing. So last up, we have, from what I'm as aware of at least, the very first Nintendo Switch steelbook case for a game. The artwork on it is lovely. It's gorgeous. It's very Kingdom Hearts-esque almost. I'm feeling a lot of Kingdom Hearts vibe in there. So that's going to be interesting to see how the characters and everything about it plays into the actual story. Not 100% sure what this little logo is on the back, but we'll find out. And on the inside, there is just a nice little extra bit of artwork. Kind of fancy, not going to complain. But that's it. Now it looks like, well actually I'm not going to close that yet, I'm going to need to put some stuff away. So that's it for the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 European Collector's Edition unboxing. What did you think of it? Did you think it was worth it? By the way, I should say, the game itself for a standard edition is €74.99. This collector's edition is €90. It's not too much more expensive. It's only €15 extra for the big book, the big packaging, steelbook, and sound selection as well. So it's not too expensive for what you're getting. And when you compare it to, say, other collector's editions, which could give you kind of shitty extra content and probably even charge more, this one seems to be a decent value. What do you think? Are you looking forward to the game? Do you think the US or the US packaging, I think it may be only the packaging, but there might be one or two other small extras different to the European one versus the US one. Let me know which one you prefer, what you think of the steelbook, because I think that's gorgeous, if you ask me. That is absolutely good. Hell, this makes it worth it alone. That's all I can say. Let me know what you think of the whole thing anyway, if you think it was worth the money, or if you think I am an idiot, or whatever. Also, let me know if you are interested in the game itself, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm hearing very mixed reports. Some places are saying it's excellent, some places are saying it's very poor. I'm kind of in the middle and wondering, what's the deal here, because a lot of places are just going to dick ride Nintendo just so they keep getting Switch games and Switch review copies. We'll see what it is anyway. Hopefully I'll have a huge amount of free time this weekend, just mostly to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I can judge for myself. Peace out everyone. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.